Hi, living on Social Security alone is not easy. I lost all of my money within the first 12 years of my retirement, and now I'm forced to live just on Social Security. Hi, I'm Pam, and welcome to my channel. I'm really glad you're here. I'm going to talk about 25 things I had to do in order to survive just on my Social Security benefits. All of these things individually would not work, but combined, they make a huge difference. And there are 25 things to look at. I do have notes. And the first one is the most boring and predictable one of all, and that is to make a budget. You know how much money you have coming in from your Social Security check every month, but do you know how much is actually going out? I had to sit down and make a very strong inventory of everything that I spent. And I'm talking everything in order to get a handle on how much money I was spending to make sure that that I balanced at the end of the month. I know where every dollar is coming from and where it's going to. And one thing I learned a long time ago, and I've really stuck with this, but this is so important, is to pay off your high interest credit cards. If you're in debt and you have high interest credit cards with a balance, pay those off first. That is the top on your list, must be top on your list, because you will never get out of debt without doing that. A long time, even when I was still working, I took a Dave Ramsey course and I learned that that was the first thing I needed to do. And I was so focused on getting out of complete debt before I retired that I even stopped contributing to my savings in order to pay off all of my debt, including my house, before I officially retired. So I've stuck with that plan and I never carry a balance no matter what on any credit card. And I do have credit cards, which I'll talk about later, which I use them to my benefit. But if you can't pay off your credit card in full every month, you should not have credit cards because it will hurt you more than anything else. And you need to put yourself first. And that means stop supporting others. If you're financially stuck, there's no reason for you to be sharing your whatever with whoever, or paying for somebody's cell phone, or paying for somebody's rent, or paying for somebody's car payment, or paying for somebody's Netflix. You've got to put yourself first and think of that. Although you may love these people that you're trying to help, you're trying to preserve your future and enjoy your retirement. This is your time, and it's not anybody else's time to take the little money that you have when you should be saving and enjoying yourself. And don't loan anybody money. Don't loan it. Not that unless you can afford to lose it, don't loan it. Retirement is your time. It's nobody else's. And even though I'm on a strict budget, I also have an emergency fund just in case. Even if you have to put $10 or $20 into a little savings account every month, just faithfully do it. So when those big emergencies come up, you are not stuck putting it putting it on a credit card and having to pay it off. Um, because like I said before, if you have a credit card, you need to pay that balance off every single month. But if an emergency comes up, it's always good to be prepared. Every month I've gotten it down working with my budget. I put $200 on a debit card And that is my play money. I don't feel bad going somewhere and taking money out of my debit card play money because I know that that's what it's there for. And I never have to worry, am I spending too much money, because I know that I put it aside. When that balance is gone on that debit card, that's it. There's no more. So I'm very conscious of what I spend that $200 on. And I also have managed to I take $50 out of my check and I put it into a savings account at another bank. And I just started doing it, and I'm just going to let that grow and grow and grow. So I know I will always have a fund to fall back on in case of an emergency. Um, with housing, if your house is more than you can afford, I did a whole video on this because I was looking into selling my house and moving into a tiny house. I was also looking about leaving the United States for a cheaper place to live. And I did a whole video on this, which I'll also link. Um, and I, in the end, I found out it was cheaper for me to stay where I am, which I'll explain in a little bit why it's cheaper for me to stay in a house that I feel is too big for me, but I'm kind of stuck. Um, and I'll explain that in a little bit. But um, if your housing is more than you can afford, look into tiny houses. Go through the exercises of seeing how much it would cost to move, including buying a house, a tiny house, and paying the lot rent that you have to pay when you live in one of those. But like I said, I'll also link my video of how I calculated my finances to show me that I'm better off just staying where I am. Um, Property taxes. If you own your own home, property taxes are a big deal. When I first retired, and I still had money then, but I wanted to travel. That was my priority, and my property taxes were $5,000. But I live in Texas, and I have the option to defer my taxes. And I thought, well, that's interesting. What's the deal with that? And I can defer my taxes every year, and they are paid off when I move, when I sell my house, or I die. And I thought, that is perfect for me. I don't have children. I don't have anybody to leave an inheritance to. My goal is to die with a zero balance. So I thought $5,000, that's a trip. And you know what? I'm actually kind of glad I did that, even though it's adding up over, in the past 12 years. I've been retired 12 years and it is adding up, but the price of my house is also going up. So even if I did sell my house and paid off that tax balance, I would still have a profit in my pocket. So that was something that I I looked into, and I did. I deferred my taxes. And I don't think I could survive right now if I hadn't done that. And I lately, in the past couple of years, with homeowners insurance and car insurance, but especially homeowners insurance, it has gotten so outrageous. And last year I shopped for days, and I called around. All I really want is insurance in case my house burns down, because it got to the point where my deductible was so high on my insurance that if I needed a new roof, it was going to cost me $10,000 anyways with that deductible that they want. And then they want $3,000 a year for home insurance, but they don't pay for anything. So I found the cheapest that I could with the highest deductible that I could to make it swallowable, but it was still too much. And this year when it comes up, the end of this year, I have to start looking. I'm not going to get insurance. I don't advise, I'm not a financial advisor, but I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm going to look for some kind of insurance that will just pay if my house burns down. That's all I care about. And that will help me sleep better at night because the deductible is so high that I wouldn't call them for anything, anyways. Um, Utilities. I live in Texas and it is very, very hot here in the summertime. And so I don't do it, but I know that there is a way that you can call the company and have them average your utility bills. And so you pay the same rate every month. And this is great when you're on a budget because you may be paying more than you normally would in the wintertime or the summertime or the fall or the spring. But it is balanced out for your budget during the year. And I think that that is a great way to do a budget and know what's coming and going because utility bills are so up and down. Food. Now food is crazy too. What's with these food prices? I have stopped eating out. That is a not only a budget killer, but it's bad for you. This fast food is terrible for your health. And those drive-through restaurants with the unhealthy food is pricey. It's pricey. If I want to eat, I make simple food at home. If I want snacks, instead of doing the drive-through French fries that are really kind of good, but I'll buy the kernels of popcorn and popcorn them myself and put real butter on them and real salt, and they're really good. And I also found these crackers that are Bobby approved. I don't know if you know who Bobby is, but they're very healthy crackers. And I'll put cheese on them and pepperoni, or I'll make chicken salad or tuna salad and have that as a snack. Much, much better than going out to foods, going out for fast foods or ice cream or anything like that. Another way to save money is to plan your meals. I don't go into grocery stores. I've talked about this before. I do all of my food shopping online and I love it because Walmart and Sam's Club, they have on their website, they have what you've bought before. So it's always a good reminder when it comes up and I'm like, am I out of that? Am I out of that? Am I out of it? It's so easy to shop. And if I'm out of it, I put it in my cart and it's done. It's like a no-brainer. And I am not tempted to go into stores and buy things that I do not need. Very important. Um, I also buy the store brands instead of the brand names. I learned that that food comes from the same place. They just put a different label on it and charge more if it's from a major brand because major brands advertise and that advertising has to come from someplace and it's coming from me, the consumer. So the store brands, they're the same food basically, but they don't advertise and their prices are lower because of that. I'm going to talk about transportation. I had my car all paid off when I first retired. Oh my gosh, I was heartbroken. I went out one morning and somebody was in a rush and slammed into me and totaled my car. And I loved my car. I was going to keep that car until the day I died. I loved my car. And and of course, the depreciation on it wasn't that good from the insurance company. So what I ended up buying was a camper van. So now I don't fly anywhere. I drive places. And if I have to drive up to see my sister who's 4 hours away, I'll camp along the way. I know the free camping spots and I don't have to stay in hotels. And it just is just an easier way for me to go. And I also love my van. It makes it easier for pickups, you know, and I have a bathroom. I don't have to, I just love it. I just love my van. So, but if you can have your car paid off and keep up the maintenance on it, that's so important. If you don't get your oil changes when you're supposed to, and do the maintenance that they tell you in the maintenance manual, do that. Spend the extra money to do that because in the long run, it will be cheaper. You won't have major repairs to look forward to on your car if you maintain it. Okay, I'm going to talk about phone bills. I found a phone company that is the same as Verizon, but less than half the price. It's called Visible, and I've been on them for 10 years now, and it's $25 a month, and it has the same plan, the same towers, the same everything. I get hotspots. I can stream on it, and it's $25 a month, including tax. There's none of those taxes and fees and nonsense that they add on to bills. And there are quite a few different companies that offer that. They offer lower rate plans, and it's worth doing your research and finding what they are. Oh, internet has always was always a big one for me because I have to have internet. And I was stuck with Spectrum internet forever. And I kept calling them to get my rate lowered, and it kept going up. And every time I would call and complain, they would lower it $10 to the point that I was paying $90 a month for internet. And I said, something's got to give. So I searched around and I found T Mobile, and they are $45 a month. And not only that, but if I go camping, I can take my little internet thing and take it with me, my little modem, and take it with me and get internet on the road. It's so exciting. And Spectrum is so rude, so rude. They keep sending me texts to return my equipment, or they're gonna go after me, or some threat of going after me with a credit company or something. And so I dropped off their little equipment at the UPS store. UPS took it back. Those subscriptions. I have Walmart Plus, which includes Paramount Plus, which I really, really enjoy. I enjoy the shows, but I've cut out Hulu, Netflix, all of them, because I tend to watch YouTube, or I'll watch Paramount, or anything that I can get for free. And that keeps me entertained. And if you're going to sign up for the freebies, you know how they give you freebies, I always write in my calendar just to make sure they're canceled in time. So if there is something you want to binge watch and you sign up for free, you just make sure you cancel it in time. And then you can rotate those streaming services that way. And it's kind of like playing a game, but you really have to keep up with it. Okay, I'm on 20, so we're almost finished. Shopping. I stopped buying expensive items. I wear very little makeup, and if I do wear makeup, I use Elf, which is $2 to $3, for lipstick or mascara. It's dirt cheap. I stopped buying the brand name things. It's not worth it. Not worth it, because what's going to help? And I also wait before buying. And when I really realized this was during the Amazon Prime days. Do you go crazy during Amazon Prime? I do. And I found I bought all of this stuff during Amazon Prime that I absolutely needed. And then it came to my house, and it sat here for a few weeks before I even opened the box. And then I opened the box and I'm like, I don't need this. I turned around and sent back about 3/4 of the stuff that I thought I absolutely have to have this product. So it's really best to sit on things. And that's proof positive of it with Amazon Prime. Okay, my last topic is credit cards and how I use them wisely. I only have a few, and I use them to get rewards. One of my credit cards gives me, I can pick from rewards um, like gift cards or restaurant cards, or they have a lot of Yeti products. They have kitchen appliances, and if I see something that I want, I see how many points it is, and I just wait. I add up my points, and I'll get a product for free, and that's kind of I love getting free stuff that way, and I always keep it in the back of my mind what I'm saving up for on the credit card to get free stuff. I also use reward points for for like for some reason Southwest Airline, they always I don't have that credit card anymore, but I do have an account with Southwest, and they always pop up when I'm shopping, and they want me to plug in my membership card, and then they give me points for whatever I'm buying, and I'm like, that's great. I have a lot of points on Southwest, but I don't fly anymore. But if I ever have to fly for an emergency, I can do it free on Southwest because I've gained those points. And when I charge things to my credit card that are monthly, like my internet bill, like my phone bill, like my lawn mowing, everything that's steadily coming in, I don't have them take it out of my checking account. I have them charge it to a credit card so I get points for it. And then I pay my credit card bill in full every month. I set it up for auto pay every month to travel. Travel smarter. I already told you about my camper van, so I'm not going to get into that. Okay, this is a good one. This is a very good one. Sell things. I had a TV in my house that I absolutely hated. I mean, I never watched TV, but I really never watched TV because I hated this TV so much. So I decided to put it on Facebook Marketplace, and it sold. People were fighting to get my TV, and it sold within and not even an hour. Someone was here to pick it up. In the meantime, my where I live, once a year they have a neighborhood garage sale, and those people are sitting outside all day long trying to sell their stuff, and there's somebody waltzing off with my TV. So I think that this is a great idea. If you have stuff that you don't need anymore, sell it. Sell it on Facebook Marketplace. Just put a good price on it, and someone will come and pick it up, and you'll get paid for it. I think that that's a great way to make some money. I so I think that's about the end of my list. I'm sorry if this is long, but I had so many ideas on how to save money and stay on track with Social Security, which I have a hard time saying. So, if you have any other ways that I haven't thought of, please let me know. I would love it to hear. I would love to hear what you think. Until next time, I'll see you later. Bye.